welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Hello, I'm Billy Coppin, the Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kaye Boehning with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
Rock and roll. And
Roll and rock?
Just for Kaye, we don't have the camera on right now. Just for Kaye. Because Kaye's doing a little glass cleaning right now. We're going to wait for Kaye. Okay, Kaye, how's it going? Rick, give us the play-by-play.
Well, she's got her shirt up and she's her shirt sleeve, sorry.
Well, that would tie into why the camera's not on.
That's not good.
This is why Rick doesn't do play-by-play.
That's exactly why.
Y'all are awful.
And 3, 2, 1. Hey, do like what was it? The Fonz. Hey, was that?
Oh,
No, it's
he had a friend that would slap her thigh like.
That's where my grandmother got that from when I was a kid. Then
yeah,
and I was a kid. Look, it's like a little earmuff. Rick, look.
Oh, honey, this is.
That happens all the time, Kaye. Don't worry. I like it. It's kind of better like this. Look, see, but yours.
I like it.
At least yours, Kaye, flips all the way. Mine would be like this. And I have had someone put on it. Now, this is, you could feel this and you could notice it. I've had people that have got on before when I was doing sports broadcasting and the players, and I'd interview them, and then 2 minutes into the interview, I'd realize, hey, man, your earphone's kind of messed up. And it would be like this. They need to make ones that look like Mickey Mouse. That would be really cool.
Wouldn't it?
You know,
I would wear that.
It would be awesome. Hey, we're here. Welcome in.
Oh, you messed up, though.
What happened?
You didn't adjust her mic.
Oh, yeah. It's a little bit off. Hold on, Kaye. Hold on. There we go. There you go. And Rick's is a little bit off, too, Kaye. See how it's kind of tilted up there? Yeah. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Wow. Did you see that?
Yes.
That was assault, right?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about this after the show. So, welcome in. Not wearing a green screen. We don't have the green screen on today.
It's a good thing because we'd be invisible.
We'd be invisible. I asked Bridget.
You'd be that floating head for the top 10.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Wouldn't it?
Yes.
Got to think about that.
Here's a vote this morning. Should we bring back that? Remember when we used to have the different backgrounds?
Yeah, I remember.
Should we do that once in a while?
If you'd like. I kind of like this one.
We're working on some new, we're kind of at a pause. I showed you guys, I don't know, probably a year ago. We've been renovating our old music suite, but let's just say that, let me just turn a word that's not even a word. Rick will correct me. The fundage right now is kind of at a standstill. The fundage. Is that a word?
Think, no.
Fundage?
It should be.
Yeah, fundage.
I have a lot of fundage issues myself.
Earlier, I was telling Rick, I said, well, need about 30. I said, I don't have 30,000, but I have 40. And
I thought you meant 40,000.
No, $40 is what I meant. So that's how it is, Kaye. Hey, we do want to welcome you in as we get rocking and rolling on another very, very, very wonderful Wednesday. Big thank you to Elliot Herzlich from Elliot's Jewelers. He's online at elliotsjewelers.com for all of your jewelry needs. Schedule that appointment. Go see my good friend Elliot Herzlich. And also, of course, here on episode 545, Feeling Alive.
545.
What would rhyme with 5?
Hive.
540. We're in the hive at 545.
Sure.
And I was
Thrive.
Yeah, 5.
We're live at 5:45.
Thive. I'm making up words this morning. Thive. Is that a word?
Sure.
Thive is a word. Thrive.
Thrive is a word.
Yeah, I said thrive.
Thrive. It just go. Kaye, sometimes things just go like this, and then they hit that fan, and then they recircle.
You guys just don't listen. I mean,
we listen to you, honey. We're just on a delay.
What did my dad always said, son, sometimes you hear but you don't listen. That's what he always said. You're hearing me but you're not listening to me.
I have told people before that I don't listen as fast as they talk.
And I'm just sitting there.
Some people talk real fast.
I'm visually trying to close my eyes and comprehend how that would work, how you would process that. It's like the rabbit is ahead of the tortoise, and the tortoise never catches up. That's how I kind of feel when I visualize that this morning.
I don't visualize too many things because it's scary. I close my eyes and I scream. Ah! See? Scared of the dark.
Kaye, I don't know. By the way, happy belated anniversary to you.
Yes, 20 years of this.
20
years of this.
20 years in one day.
In one day. I was going to say it's that one.
No, it's just 20 years and probably about 12 hours.
Yeah.
See, the 20 years was okay. It's the 12 hours is what's gotten you, all right?
It pushed me over the edge.
You're sitting there, I'm dreading this, the 20. And then it's the moment after the 20 years. You're like, it's finally here. No, I've enjoyed seeing y'all's journey. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I've enjoyed seeing y'all's journey. And I think y'all have been, I'm trying to say this because I know Rick's going to say something, but y'all have been an inspiration to so many people. You really have. And I mean that as a friend. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for what you guys do that you don't even realize that you do. So.
Are you saying we serve as a bad example? Or?
No. Inspiration is not bad, Rick. Did I say inspiration, Kaye?
You said inspiration.
Okay, because I heard myself, but I wasn't listening to myself.
You were talking faster than you listened?
Yes. Talking faster than my brain is processing. But I mean that. Y'all really have been an inspiration to many people. And one day, y'all should start a marriage business. I think y'all hit the jackpot.
A marriage business?
Yeah. Like a marriage counseling type business. I think y'all hit the jackpot.
There's nobody like me.
You're like, they come in.
Wonder how many thousands of points, tips I have to put up with someone like you. I don't know.
You'd have to come up with a lot.
And y'all could continue the Tomorrow's Promise theme. Like, in the counseling business could be, you'll be together tomorrow, we promise. See, you'll still be together tomorrow, we promise. Rick and Kaye Boehning.
We can't promise that.
One day,
some problems are just too big to overcome.
Not right now, because I don't want to get in trouble for using titles. But in the future, Rick and Kaye Boehning, LPC. See, it's got a good ring to it.
Yeah, I like it.
You'll be together tomorrow, we promise. And then accept, and then you'll have like 20 more. No, big thank you to Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools here on this wonderful Wednesday. Rick and Kaye Boehning with Tomorrow's Promise. My children are there. I say this every week because I mean it. They are thriving. They are doing wonderful. My little boy's vocabulary is, I was worried because Braylon started speaking really early and Caden was a little slower. And that little dude is worse, not as worse as his daddy, but getting close. He does not shut that mouth up. He is rolling with it. And that's probably a bad way to say that. I don't mean it in a bad way. The talking doesn't stop. Does that sound better, Kaye?
Does he talk to himself?
A little bit. Now, Braylon has inherited that from me tremendously. She will talk to herself all the time.
Well, that's when you need expert advice.
This is a really good talking point this morning.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to how many people honestly talk to themselves regularly. Bridget has given me a hard time saying, why do you always talk to yourself? I do. I talk to myself all the time. Do you, Kaye?
Well, not out loud, but no matter what, there's an internal voice that's telling you, oh, you did really good on that, or, oh, you really sucked about that. There's always an internal voice that's going on. And a lot of it's programming from what your parents have said to you growing up. And so you replay things, and there's a whole lot of science on mindset and what you internally tell yourself.
Mm.
It depends on which voice you're listening to.
He used to wear a shirt that said, I do what the voices in my wife's head tell me to do.
Had to quit wearing that one, right?
Yeah.
And why did you quit wearing it?
There are too many conflicting instructions.
I thought it was because Rick walked by a police officer and the police officer started talking on his radio. Here's the guy we've been looking for. Thought maybe that was why you quit wearing the shirt.
No, it's too many conflicting instructions.
I do. It's not in my head, but I do that too. But I talk out loud all the time to myself. All the time.
I sing out loud when I'm alone in the car.
Do you really?
Yes.
But is it a negative voice or is it a positive voice?
It depends on what I've been through during the day. Honestly, and you bring up a good point because typically it's something I'm frustrated about and it's negative, and I need to turn that around. Thank you. I just had a wake-up moment this morning here on Good Morning Huntsville.
We call that an epiphany.
An epiphany. Well, I just had a major epiphany, so thank you, Kaye, because I really do. Now that I think about it, most of the time when I'm talking out loud, it's because I'm frustrated, and I think it's because I'm trying to get the frustration out, and I speak it, and I need to turn it around. What would your wisdom be, Kaye, to turn that around? Instead of, let's say that, like, my computer's not working, and I'm sitting there going, oh, that stinking computer junk.
She'd call Rick.
That's her advice. Call Rick. Tell yourself to call Rick. Rick is happy. Rick is joy. Call Rick. He's your boy. That would be it. That would not be it.
I just need to slow down and think this through. And I'm probably being held up for a reason. I'm not being grateful that I even have a computer.
There you go.
I need to be grateful that I have a computer that, have electricity and things like that.
I was so excited. This is
I remember back in the days when we didn't have a computer to do all this stuff for us.
I remember.
Did everything by hand.
The old punch cards back in the day. Those were the real.
Remember carbon paper too.
Those were fun. I remember when I did I was a computer business, and we did computer house calls. We'd go to people's homes, and I would have three-ply carbon paper when we'd write our work orders, and we would give one to the customer, one would go into a file, and the other one would go into another file that we had. Those were fun days.
Yeah, I remember.
And we were a computer business, Kaye, having to do that. Well, hey, we do want to welcome all of you in. Let us know that you're out there. Do us a huge favor this morning and let us know what you're thankful for. If you're talking to yourself this morning in a negative way, start talking positive and say, you know what, I'm so thankful that I get to listen to and watch Good Morning Huntsville and see two wonderful people, Rick and Kaye.
I thought it was 3.
No, it's because they don't want to see me. They're tired of me talking all the time. I've received feedback. Numerous abundance of text messages saying, I wish this guy would just pipe down. Stop. So
it wasn't me.
Wanted to clear the air this morning. A couple serious things, though, very serious things. We're obviously continuing the donation drive for our friends in the Texas Hill Country. An educational segment real quick. Hill Country does not mean one little area. Kerrville obviously has had just tremendous destruction. The numbers coming out of that community are just absolutely heartbreaking now. Over 100 lives lost. They still say 160 people are missing. Many children, 30 children, have tragically lost their lives. It's just absolutely heartbreaking what is happening in Kerrville. So, yes, there is a very important need there. The positive, if you can find anything positive out of this, which you can, is that most of those needs are being met for what people need right now. So that is a good thing. There's a lot of donations coming in. There's a lot of cash coming in. I want to encourage people to do research first. I had somebody comment this morning and saying, where's the $50 million that Jelly Roll sent? A very quick Google search revealed that he didn't send $50 million to Kerrville. And so there's a lot of misinformation going out there. One thing is be very careful of scams. There is a ton of GoFundMes that pop up. And GoFundMe, when they receive information that these are fraudulent, they'll take them down immediately and refund people's money. But that doesn't mean that some of them still go through. We encourage people to donate to reputable organizations. The Salvation Army is one that I've always supported. My dad gave me a lot of insight to the Salvation Army many, many years ago. And so we have always been a big fan of what they do. But there's other groups as well. It used to be Texas Baptist Men. Now it's called Texans on Mission. They respond to so many tragedies that happen and natural disasters. They have already have boots on the ground instead of
Boots on the burn.
Boots on the ground. They've been down there helping already. That's a great organization. And then Kerrville, there's a community foundation that's been set up, and you can find all that if you go to the official City of Kerrville, Texas Facebook page. And if you go to a what looks to be an official page and they have like 2 followers, then it's probably fake. So just use some common sense, use some judgment, and make sure that you are giving to reputable organizations. With that being said, we're accepting a lot of items here at First Baptist. Numerous churches in the community have also partnered with us, and we have become kind of a central location for a lot of drop-offs. Our gym is starting to fill up now with donations, and those will be going to use. I had a lot of people message me and say, hey, you guys need to stop accepting things. They're already full in Kerrville, and this is where I'm getting at. People, I'm from the area, so when I think of Hill Country, I think of 20 counties. I don't think of one little area. I think a lot of people think that when we say Hill Country, we mean Kerr County or Kerrville. There's so much more around that. Even, in fact, this morning we had a message come in that is saying that San Angelo needs help. And someone had sent me quite a bit of information about some organizations there that are seeking items. And so we were already planning on Friday delivering. We have a strategic meeting set up on Thursday. We were placing phone calls yesterday. Big thank you to Chrissy Cogdell of First Touch Family. She did a phenomenal job yesterday reaching out. We found areas that included elderly families that need support that no one had really thought about. And so we have identified several areas now and several different groups. First Baptist Church of San Saba will accept a lot of the items we're going to bring. They have become a distribution hub there in San Saba. So our efforts will not focus on Kerrville. They're getting a lot of support, and that's great. But there's so many other areas outside. And then, like I said, I got the message about San Angelo. We're going to be looking into that today to verify exactly what's needed. But if that's the case, we're going to make another hour and 50-minute drive even further west on Friday to deliver all of those items. With that being said, you can come. We are extending the hours because of the response. We have people now that are here until 6 o'clock each evening. We're located at 1229 Avenue J, just right next to the Walls unit. And if you go to our Family Life Center across the street, there'll be a blue tent outside unless it's raining and storming. Like yesterday, we had to take it down.
Yeah.
But just come to that blue tent, and that's where we'll have everything set up and ready to go. We've been accepting things. And the biggest needs right now that we've received, people need those N95 masks. They're looking for those. In fact, let me just read a couple of things because I want to make sure that I get the correct information out real quick. But what we need, and this is exactly what's needed. Chrissy has reached out and compiled a list for us. But some of the things that are some immediate needs that we will be taking.
That online?
Not this. We're going to have to compile it in an easier format. But N95 masks, heavy-duty construction bags, long, heavy gloves, bug spray, bleach, and duct tape. There is a team from Oklahoma that is in that area now, and they're saying that they need box fans also. So that's something that I don't think – we brought a fan in this morning. It's a little stuffy here in the office or in the studio. So box fans, if you have those. At this time, please, no more clothes, no more blankets. We appreciate those items. We honestly don't know how many of those we're going to be able to deliver, and the backup plan is we won't deliver any of that we've received. If it's not needed, because we've received some reports now saying folks don't need that, we will keep that, and we will end up having a sidewalk sale out here, and all proceeds will go to areas that need the money. We did this when the Bastrop fires hit, Kaye, and we're able to raise over $3,500 because we had so much clothing. And we just said, hey, a suggested donation of $5 per HEB bag, and people were giving more than $5. So if you want to bring clothes and blankets, I mean, feel free if you have good clothing. Feel free to, but just know that it's probably not going to make its way to those areas that it will be kept, and we're going to turn that into a monetary donation. So still an opportunity to give and help out. But those are just a few of the items. Food is not really a big one. One that we're seeing, though, big time right now is Gatorade, electrolytes, that kind of stuff. Of course, water, but Gatorade is a big one right now that everyone has been asking us, can you bring Gatorade? So bring the Gatorade, Rick. Bring the Gatorade.
I've got some in the fridge that I don't really care for.
Bring the Gatorade. So, but that's what we're looking at. Well, a lot happening. Rick and Kaye, again, happy belated anniversary by 12 hours now. But I told you online, Rick was up at like 12:03, hitting it right on the money, right, man?
He wanted to be first.
I couldn't sleep. I was very excited.
Do you ever try to be first, Kaye, or is it usually Rick on that? I figured you'd be up working, you know.
No.
Kay's like, well, I got to go to bed. It's 10 o'clock. And then you wake up. Oh, it's midnight. I got to get back up. No, just kidding.
She stops working. We've got a fast rule. She has to stop at 8.
Okay, good.
Then she comes to bed, and she turns on the TV, and she's out.
Do you really fall asleep that quick?
I can.
She wakes up a lot.
If I stop moving, I will fall asleep.
I do that. Last night I was laying down with Braylon, and all of a sudden I woke up and it was 2 a.m. And I was like, whoa, I just completely – and I put her down at like 8:30. That's how exhausted I was. And I was like, oh, it's 2 in the morning. I better go to sleep now.
See, I've got that old age thing where sometimes you just can't sleep.
Do you pace the floor?
No.
You had that old age thing at 45.
What?
If that's a problem, you had that at 45.
Yeah, I've always had that problem.
Do you wake up and shuffle your feet? You don't do that yet?
No.
You said you have that old age problem.
No, I don't shuffle my feet. I walk quietly into the office.
Okay, well, if you're not shuffling your feet, it's not an old age problem yet, Rick.
Okay, well, it's an age problem. Or I go into the living room and watch TV where she can't hear me.
I just remember growing up, and I'd hear my grandfather. I miss him so much. He passed away in 2000. But I remember, and it's 25 years ago, and it's as fresh as yesterday. I just remember being over there as a child, and I'd hear in the middle of the night, shh, and he's up shuffling his way to the kitchen. And he'd get up, and you know what he ate for breakfast? Peanut butter and syrup. That was his favorite thing to eat for breakfast.
Mix it together and put it on bread?
5:30. No, not even bread, just peanut butter and syrup.
Huh.
And he'd get up early at 5:30 in the morning. He'd be in there, and they had a little small table against the window. And my grandmother had these window curtains that she had sewn, and the corner of those window curtains was kind of peanut buttered up because he would always look out of the window. And so there was always like a little dark spot on one corner. And I asked my grandmother one day, I said, Nanny, do you watch these? When I was little, you ask things she goes, yes, but I can't get that peanut butter out of them. And it's from my grandfather always looking out of the window. Good memories. We're going to take a break. We have some friends joining us this morning that we're excited to have on. We'll have an interview with them, and then we will come back and wrap it up with Rick's Top 10, maybe some Kaye's Wednesday wisdom today. We do have a quick show because we've got to be off by about 8:30, and I know you guys have somewhere to be at 9. So we're going to try to stick to an hour today, Kaye.
That works for me.
Awesome. We'll take a break. Stay with us. As always, we are here on this very wonderful Wednesday, brought to you by Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. Over 27 years of educational excellence. They are the place to take your children here in Huntsville when it comes to early childhood education. Consider it. Let me know, because I've got a little referral reward for you.
That's right.
Let me know, and we can get you set up and get you enrolled. And well, I can't get you enrolled, but I can at least get you referred.
You can point us.
I can point you in the right direction.
That's right.
More information is online at tomorrowspromise.info. We'll take a brief break. Let us know you're out there and share this broadcast as we continue on. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville. Stay with us.
At Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, we're not just a place where children pass the time. We're not a daycare. We're a child care center focused on growth, learning, and discovery. Every day, children engage in meaningful activities that build confidence, independence, and a love for learning. From reading and math to social and practical life skills, our students are active participants in their development. Ready to give your child something more? Visit tomorrowspromise.info and discover what makes our school different. Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. Education you can trust.
Since 2010, the Oak Ridge Disciple House has helped men break free from addiction, not with quick fixes, but lasting change through Jesus Christ. They've celebrated 167 graduates at Oak Ridge and 138 more at Interfaith with an 80% success rate. That's compared to just 5% in most secular programs. The fact is, Jesus works. And now, celebrating 15 years, they're building their third house in Tennessee and just launched a women's program, Restoration Ranch in Texas. It's all for God's glory. And here's the heart of it. They never turn anyone away for lack of money. In fact, 95% of families receive scholarships. As one person put it, don't talk about it, be about it. Every penny counts. Donate today at oakridgedisciplehouse.com and help change a life forever. The Oak Ridge Disciple House. Online at oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Real recovery, real hope.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville.
Spirit of Huntsville, Spirit 94.3.
All right, friends, welcome back out as we continue on, approaching that 8 a.m. hour this morning here on another edition of Good Morning Huntsville. As always, brought to you by Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. 75 degrees outside right now, and guess what? Rain in the forecast today, up to 50%. Had a little flash flooding yesterday, and we could have some more of those pop-up thunderstorms a little bit later today. Tonight, 20% chance of showers, and then partly cloudy, low of 73. And that trend, honestly, friends, is going to continue through the rest of the week. Rain chances will increase on Saturday to around 70%. So just kind of keep that umbrella handy and be alert. I was talking with a meteorologist that I know in the Austin area. It's been retired for years, but he's still part of the station at KXAN, Jim Spencer. And I was mentioning just how there's a lack of knowledge between watches and warnings, and people need to take those seriously. And the National Weather Service and those guys work really hard to put those out. And so if you see a watch or a warning, make sure that you pay attention to what it says. A watch means conditions are imminent, that something could happen. A warning means it's happening now. So just be very careful when you see those type of things. Well, again, welcome back in. It's always fun to have guests on our show. And today we are joined by a wonderful couple that is here with us this morning, CJ and Tiwonna Moore joining us. Good to see y'all this morning.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Yeah, it's so good to have you. Y'all came all the way up this morning. I'm just getting one more microphone adjusted here. Y'all came up from Humble, Texas. Is that right, CJ?
Yes, sir.
So what time did y'all have to get up this morning to come on this wonderful show? I know y'all were so thankful to have to wake up early and say, "Man, I can't wait to get in here to Huntsville and see Rob this morning."
5:15.
Okay, well, that's not too bad.
It's not. Normally on Wednesdays it's my time to get up because we also are part of corporate prayer line.
Yeah.
So on Wednesdays, that's my time to get up early. So it's no harm, no foul for me.
Man, that's great. Is it people that call in and it's just kind of a group prayer?
It's a group prayer, and you have different people Monday through Friday that kind of spearhead it, and other people there are involved, and they pray with, and you pray for them.
Oh, I love that.
And then there's a prophetic flow, just talk about what the Lord is saying, and then we dive into some scripture. So it's just very versatile in what we do there. So,
Yeah,
that's the fun stuff there.
Well, prayer, we put such a heavy emphasis on prayer here at our church, and I think, we need to get back to that. That's the number one way the number one way that we need to be speaking to the Lord is through prayer. And
Yes,
I love hearing that, man. That gets me a little fired up this morning, my friend. Well, you guys are with a great organization, Covenant with Christ International, under the leadership of Christine Shippey.
That's correct.
Wanted to read a few things you sent me. Have an accredited and non-accredited school of ministry, which maintains the curriculum, easy online module. There's physical locations here in Huntsville, Cleveland, Kirbyville. Kind of all over, even in Sacramento, California, man. Bringing some Cali here to Texas, man.
Yeah.
So that is exciting. And just in calling these training centers, because a place of body ministry where believers can reign activated in their calling and sent out to fulfill the Great Commission. I love that. That comes right out of Matthew, man.
Yes.
I speak so frequently that, somebody asked me one day, well, why is there so much effort, going into these other countries? And these are because God says, the Bible says, go into all nations.
Correct.
We got to take care of our little nation right here, but we also need to get out of our backyard as well. So
that's true.
Well, let us know, CJ, just a little bit about what you guys have doing. I think involved with this organization since the fall of 2023. So
correct.
Let us know a little bit about you first, and then, Tiwonna, I'll ask you the same question, and then we'll dig a little bit into the ministry and what you guys are doing and how people can get involved and help make an impact.
Well, religion is very interesting. I'm a PK kid, so I was brought up, my father is a preacher and a pastor and is still, and I'm so grateful for that. At the same time, there are some things that I've had to unlearn over a period of time in order to get to this point where religion is not even the emphasis is all. It's relationship with God, it's sonship. So being able to walk in that, and then as a pastor, being able to lead people into that, that's where I'm at today. So, I can say I've been doing this in some way, shape, or form really since 2020, 2019, but God has really hyper accelerated me for a time such as this, where to go out and make disciples of men and show them how this works and how simple it really is to follow and pursue after the things of Christ and truly be his hands and feet. So that's me in a nutshell. There's so much more I could really talk about, but that's the core of what my wife and I, that's the core of what we do. Everything else is secondary. Of course, we love our family, our two children. Of course, we love, our extended family as well. But Christ is first. Christ is the center because Christ is the anchor. So when you say, man, you drove all the way from Humble, to here, it's nothing because we're sent. And when you're sent, then you take joy in God utilizing you and positioning you, to bring his word and to spread the gospel. So,
amen. Well, Tiwonna, kind of the same question. How did you get involved? Obviously, you and your husband been married. Y'all got. How old are your little ones, by the way? Are they big ones now?
They big.
Well, we still call them my children, but they're quite big. We have a 19-year-old and a 21-year-old.
Okay.
So
yeah.
So they're both
it's
in
crazy
college
to
now.
hear that. 19 and 20. That just makes you
really
old.
is.
Well, that's good. That means y'all got started young. See, I'm 41, and I still got little ones in diapers, so I'm going to be the grandpa at the football games. I'm worried about that,
Oh, no. I feel like we got started a little older, but it's really great. And our children, they're very involved with helping us in ministry. My son, he actually does the audio and visual ministry.
Awesome.
And my daughter, she's an intercessor, and she's also a greeter. So, like I say, I come from the north side of Houston. I was originally grew up in 5th Ward, and then I moved to Southwest Houston, and that's where I met my husband. And we came together to really just focus on being in full-time ministry, which I never really thought because originally I was a hairdresser, but
and nobody ever thinks that, right?
Nobody
especially being a pastor's kid. You're like, no way. Right?
No way.
Yeah, but But yeah, so we got into full-time ministry in 2020. And God sent us to Cleveland, Texas. And so there we met Apostle Christine Shippey, and she began to really help us and train us in ministry more on a apostolic platform where we're doing various type of ministries. Like at Covenant with Christ, we do have missions where we, they send people to Africa once a year. So we were really trained in some mission work and just discipleship training center where, like the Bible says, to make disciples, not just church members, but to make disciples. So I'm happy to do that. I also have a platform online where I disciple young girls.
Oh, wonderful.
And so, that is called Arise Women's Ministry. And so we do that every Saturday. So we just do a lot of outreach. Love doing outreach in the community. We are having an upcoming massage event, which we'll be talking about. But we just love doing outreach and interacting with people on different levels.
Well, real quick, what's the website? Where can people go? Because there may be a mom out there today that's saying, you know what, I need to get my daughter plugged into something. Where can people go? Maybe somebody's listening or watching this morning.
You would want to go to Covenant with Christ, Walker County.
Okay.
And we publish that on our Facebook page. We have a different link sometime every week. The young girls, they also pray on Monday morning.
Oh, I love that.
So these are, young women ages 13 all the way up to about 35. Because what we're doing is we're discipling young girls and we're teaching the older girls to disciple the younger girls.
That's great.
But the website is covenantwithchrist.org.
Covenantwithchrist.org, gotcha.
So you can definitely go there and get connected with any one of the schools that's the closest to you. And we really don't, even though we corporately gather once a week at each location, because the school, it's hybrid in a sense where you can go online for the curriculum so as to learn, so as to sharpen you and prepare you for the work in the field. But the gathering, the various schools that you can go online and get linked up with, it's for being able to have encounters and experiences and understand, okay, how does the prophetic work? Okay, when I'm praying for people, how do I go about doing that? And you actually see that live in the field, if I can call it that. So I'm glad you brought that up, Rob, because it's real critical for people to move into more of a body movement kind of fellowship and not just church as usual.
Yeah, and I've always believed this too, to be bold in your prayers. God calls us to ask, and there's nothing wrong with asking and saying, Lord, help us move. And I love what our pastor always says here. He says, allow us to move out of the way so you can move in a mighty way.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And I love too, Tiwonna and CJ, y'all were talking about outreach. Well, I'm our outreach minister here at FBC, and so many church, and I'm not knocking any church, because we're all one. If we believe that Jesus died and shed his blood and rose again, and we repent of our sins, we're one body.
Yes.
One body with many different. I always said it like that. Y'all love this. Now y'all like a good steak, right?
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody once. They go, "Well, I'm a vegetarian, Rob." I said, "Well, you're gonna have to hang with me and just pretend right now." I've always said that as long as you treat Jesus as that steak, right? Now, some people like mashed potatoes and peas and carrots and all this other, but that main course is Jesus. I said that's what it's about. And,
That's good.
and I love that y'all were talking about outreach. And I say this because I'm not knocking any church or anyone else, but you're right. There's so much focus in the church that we should be reaching out of the church.
Wow.
Outreach is so important because as you're driving down the road, you see a guy that's asking for money. Well, in your mind, you're thinking, well, that guy's just begging and this and that. But that's an opportunity to stop and talk.
It's an opportunity.
And even if he is even if he is not for real, you still got an opportunity to be real.
Yes.
That's right.
And that's happened here in this community. Several people, and a lot of people were passing a guy up. And I was eating at McDonald's one day, and when you talk about the Holy Spirit moving, man, I just kept feeling this. The Holy Spirit telling me, saying you better go talk to that guy. And I was like, no, that's just my mind telling. But then I felt it, and I went and talked to that. We ended up having the prayer right there, man, and just said the sinner's prayer. And he gave me a hug, started crying, didn't ask me for a dime.
Wow, it's interesting because not this past Sunday, but Sunday before last, we, instead of having ministry inside the building. We just set up outside of the building, put the PA system up, tents, and had hot dogs, and we were able to feed some homeless people that came by. There's one guy, and I can remember him so clearly where I was talking. I was actually praying through the PA system, and I can remember so clearly seeing him walk by. And initially, I wasn't going to say anything because I didn't want to be a bother, but the Holy Spirit pulled me, and I stopped what I was saying because what I was saying clearly wasn't as important what the Holy Spirit wanted to do. I said, "Hey, brother," in the PA system, "Hey, brother, come here." So he came over. I began to talk to him. I said, "You want something to eat?" Man, he swallowed 3 hot dogs just right there. And it just touched my heart to be able to just pour into him, and not necessarily, do you know Bible? Do you know this? Do you know that? How's about we just take the time to love on people in their situation and not, try to, well, you can only get this if you come to my church. You can only get this. You know what I mean? Because you see a lot of people, some ministries, and again, I agree with you. Long as Jesus Christ is the nucleus, he's the reason for what you do. I get that, I understand that, but there are some times where churches, they play that game, and I struggle with this sometimes, Rob, where there's always a hook in order for you to get, well, you need to show up to my service. What happened to us being the Acts chapter 2 church where we are serving the people, and not just the people that are church goers, people that are saved, but go ye out into all the world and preach the gospel. Go serve the world, go feed them. And I just felt so honored for the people that came by. I was able to feed. I was able to hug, no matter how dirty or how clean they were. We were able to love on their children. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then lead some people to Christ. See, that's what outreach is about to me, giving without an expectation of getting anything back.
I love that. When you're talking, I think of a phrase that I thought of years ago as church in the church. I said we spend too much time church in the church.
That's good.
And that's not a bad, and it's not, we got to take care of the flock, and you got to take care of what the Lord has put in. You have to. That's part of it. But as you said, I love what y'all are doing. You got to get out of the walls.
At some point, the church that you've been churching, they've got to get out.
Yep.
They've got to go be the hands and feet. Okay, you've seen pastor do it. You've seen the evangelist do it. Now you go do it. Let's get some replication going on.
I love that. Well, Tiwonna, I love the passion, and I know that the Lord is working in both of y'all in such a mighty way, and it's so awesome to have a husband and a wife that are teammates in this life, that are saying, you know what, we're winning this life for Christ. We're winning souls for Christ.
Yes.
What has it been like for you just to go through? You mentioned you were a hairdresser. Even me sitting here, I used to do sports broadcasting. Never would have imagined I would be, working at a church. What has that journey been like for you as a female, going from a hairdresser to saying, you know what, I'm full, I'm all in the ministry?
It's been very interesting because I told the Lord I stand behind hair cheers. I don't stand behind pulpits.
Right, that's so funny. Yeah. So, and that's funny when we say we tell the Lord, and the Lord's like, wait a minute.
like Moses, I was not created for this. But the Lord, the way he did it, it was very strategic, and there was some resistance. In 2006, I found myself being diagnosed with a autoimmune disease, scleroderma. And because of that, I had to stop working. And it was really in the time when I had to stop working that God began to speak to me, and I began to really be trained in the Word of God. And so during that time, being sick, feeling like I wasn't useless, God began to really speak to me concerning my plan and my purpose. And when I began to tell God, God, if you heal me, because he began to show me all these things he wanted me to do. And I said, if you heal me, I'll serve you. And God was saying, okay, do you want to get well to serve me, or you want to get well to do your thing? So I said, I will serve you. So God began to, do a lot of healing in my body. And so as a result of that, my personal relationship with God began to really be strengthened.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes, and God began to open up a lot of doors. And the thing that I like with Covenant with Christ is that we get a chance to work with other ministries. And like, say if you have a small church and they don't have a evangelism ministry, then we can go to that church and say, hey, well, you can come evangelize with us. And so if a church does not have missions, we can say, hey, you can come with us, and we have a missions director, and we will train you for that.
Oh,
So
I
love the fact that we do get to work with other ministries.
Kind of like you said, a parachurch.
Yes, and we're more like a parachurch. So I really love that fact, and so that's one thing that I like with Covenant with Christ, because I went to a church and I was in the church for 20 years, and thank God that I was able to be trained. I worked a little bit in the women's ministry, ministering to the women, but that was really preparing me for what God has me doing now. Yeah, so it's just so interesting how your path can line up with God, and you can do different things in the church, and then God began to tell you, now it's time to launch out a little bit in the deep. So I thank God for that opportunity. So, what I really like our motto. We are a church on the move. So we come to Huntsville here. We come every Sunday. We have a location at 228 75 North. And we're there at 1 o'clock every Sunday, where we have ministry in the building. Sometimes we're outside the building. When we go different places in Huntsville, people know us as the people that's outside with the prayer signs, because we love to go outside, put on the music, and have people come by and pray with them. Every Tuesday, we're actually in Cleveland, Texas, where our other location is at, and there we go there in the building, and other churches. One of the churches is Cornerstone Church.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, they come. A lot of their members in Bethel Church, a lot of their members, they come and they fellowship with us, and we actually train them for discipleship.
See, I love that too, because there's people that may be already a part of a church, and they're in churches get out at noon.
Yes.
Well, now they got an opportunity. They're saying, you know what, I'm hungry. I'm still hungry.
Yeah.
They can continue on if their church doesn't have anything else going on that day.
Yeah.
They can come join you guys and even and continue that fellowship.
And Rob, it is interesting how people come from Conroe.
Yes.
Over in Montgomery
they
County,
do that.
Some come from Cleveland, some come from Cold
Yeah.
Springs, because we have a 1 o'clock on Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe they got up late, or maybe there's something more that, like you said, they're still hungry, so it's interesting every week, the mix of people that
I
we
love
get.
that. Well, CJ, we got about 2 more minutes here. I don't want to rush you guys, but we got about 2 more minutes. I wanted to ask you just any other information. I know there may be some things on your heart that you'd like to tell the people this morning. So any other information you'd like to share, please.
So this coming Saturday, for example, July the 12th, starting at 10 a.m., we have a massage, a therapeutic massage event where you can go online to our Facebook page and continue to register Covenant with Christ, Walker County, and continue to register. And yes, while we're loving on people, it's a stressful season, a stressful time. So what better way to help people with stress relief than have professionals coming in out of Houston, Texas, that are also a part of our ministry, and yes, they do drive that far, to come in, to bring their establishment and set up in our local facility, and just begin to love on people from a physical standpoint, but also the objective is for us to evangelize people so this is an evangelism push right here, actually, in itself, showing and spreading the love of Christ. Again, not to get you to come and sit down and be a part of what we're doing, but spreading the love of Christ, where what we do, the heart of Christ working in and through us, will compel you to draw in to Christ. Wow, why are they doing this? Because we had someone on our Facebook page, I think you misspelled message and you put massage. I don't know if you've seen that or not. I laughed at that, and I said, no, it's actually therapeutic massage event. And he said, oh. I said, so, and people are looking, okay, what's the catch? What's the hook? Is this a sales pitch? Is this something to get us to come to your ministry or to come to the actual people that's doing the work? No, it's the heart of Christ active in the earth realm through the hands and feet of the children of God. And that's what it is. So, you can read, and you can, when you go to our Facebook page, it's real simple to find. It's posted there. You can go in, you can pick your times. You can actually pick from 4 different therapeutic massages that you may want to have. We have like refreshments, and of course we're giving away massage gifts for those who register. Awesome. And of course we're praying for people. We're counseling people. If you have stressful moments, if you have stuff that's going on in your life, we have people that are ready, that are dedicated to just loving on you do in serving the community. So, you know, I thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, you bet.
And allowing
Thank you
us
so
to
much.
share that. You know, is there any other information that we may need to leave to share?
Yeah,
with
just
people?
we'll share some things on our Facebook page. I just put the link to the Facebook page there. If you're on the chat on social media, now if you're listening on Spirit Radio, obviously you can't see it, but just go to Facebook. Super easy. Just search for Covenant with Christ, Walker County. They got well over 1,000 followers. That's going to continue to grow. We know the Lord's blessing y'all's ministry and what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so make sure that you go there, and we'll share more information, you know, as time goes. And I'd love to have y'all back. I feel like there's a lot
I was
more we
thinking
could
that.
talk
I said,
about.
how do I ask them? You, know,
You just ask, brother. You just be bold. Hey, Rob, I want to come back, man. Okay. So,
Yes, sir.
well, Tiwonna, so wonderful to have y'all, and thank
you
you,
so
thank you
much
for the awesome
for
work,
having us.
and thank the Lord for the awesome work that He's allowing y'all the privilege to have. And I love this. I always talk about how churches and organizations need to come together more because we are one body. You guys are helping to make that happen in a very powerful way. And so thank y'all for what you're doing. And most importantly, all glory to God, because
All
I know
glory to
He's
God.
moving in a mighty way. So
Yes.
thank y'all so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank
CJ,
you.
Tiwonna, welcome, and we'll have you back sometime, all right?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, there they are, friends. We'll take a brief break as we continue on, and make sure you follow our Facebook pages for more information. We'll share that throughout the day and more about that. I woke up this morning, see, I was kind of hurting. I was like, and I thought about it. I was like, this is weird because I was like, man, my joints are hurting. I wish I could find a massage. And then you come on and talk about it, man.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
should
even
come.
joking.
You should really come by.
No, I'm telling you, these folks, they are my doctors.
That's awesome.
So I go to them. So it's not like I pick someone out of the blue and say, hey, would you mind? No, they once a month.
Love
and,
it, man.
And, you know, I'm a walking pain magnet, it seems. I go to them feeling one way, and I leave them. I feel much better.
Amen. Well, there it is. Well, we'll take a brief break. Stay with us. Rick and Kaye rejoin us. It is Rick's Top 10 and a little bit of Kaye's Wednesday Wisdom. When we come back, this is your show. It's Good Morning Huntsville. Stay with us.
Tomorrow's Promise Montessori schools believe in creating spaces where children can learn, grow, and use their imaginations. At any Tomorrow's Promise location, children enjoy the largest playgrounds in town. Tomorrow's Promise Montessori is a fun school where every child learns at their own pace, and mastery of a concept is expected before moving on to the next concept. At Tomorrow's Promise, every child is respected, loved, and nurtured for the unique individual that they are.
Tomorrow's Promise Academy on Veterans Memorial now open. Visit tomorrowspromise.info for more information. Education you can trust.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
And now, coming at you live.
I'm live. Rick's Top 10.
Rick's. Wait, Kaye, can you give him an intro?
Rick's Top 10.
Oh, yikes! A little spicy. Rick's Top 10.
Oh, that would be Rick's Top 10.
What?
That would be Rick's Top 10.
Ricardo.
Can you roll that R?
Probably not.
Tell me the top 10, papi.
Today is the top 10 reasons to celebrate National Dimples Day. Number 10, finally, your cheeks get the attention they deserve. Number 9, it's the one day of the year you can smile nonstop without looking suspicious. I still look suspicious.
Rick smiles all the time, though. Rick does. He smiles all the time.
He always looks like he's up to something.
You see the eyebrow right there? And then the smile? Yeah.
Yeah. Scientists confirm dimples are just cheek potholes from overuse. 7, dimples make selfies 43% cuter 100% more humble braggy.
Humble braggy.
Humble brag. It's a hyphenated word I've never heard of before.
That's if you want to brag, but you want to be humble about bragging, Kay. Humble braggy.
That's a new one.
You humble braggy, you.
6, give dentists a reason to say, great molars, but wow, those dimples. Number 5, people with dimples are twice as likely to get extra whipped cream. Probably.
I thought you meant extra whipped. Then you said whipped cream. That made sense. It's because they're mischievous. They get in trouble.
Yeah. Is that true, honey?
You're always in trouble. So.
She has a point. 4, it's the only time you can poke someone's face and say, just checking your personality. Ooh, she bites. 3, dimples, the only facial dents you don't try to cover with foundation. That's true. I've tried that. Just cakes up.
You put a little too much extra makeup, on the dimples.
You smile and it pops off. Number 2, no one's ever said, you're too happy. Dimples say it for you.
That's true.
And the number 1 reason to celebrate National Dimples Day, because if smiles are contagious, dimples are the super spreaders.
I don't know what that means.
Super spreader, for COVID.
Ah, okay. I wasn't thinking about COVID, but they had to throw it in there.
Yeah.
All right, there it was.
And we didn't have anything about the president this time.
No, I didn't want to do that. We told it, don't leave the president out of it.
Okay.
I wonder, we could have did a top 10 presidential dimples. Maybe next time. There it is. Rick's top 10. You got to pay big money for that top 10 list, by the way.
Do you?
So, yeah.
How much?
$15.
15. That's big money?
It's big money.
Well, it is for me.
Well, Kay, I know we're rocking and rolling here. You got some Wednesday wisdom for us?
Wednesday.
Well, I shared this yesterday.
Oh, but you weren't on here.
I feel bad that I don't have an official intro for you, by the way. Next week, we're going to have one.
You're going to have a bouncing head for her?
Yes.
But, y'all were talking about customer service and trashing people on Facebook and things like that. Well, I found an article, and it's talking about ways to get better customer service. And what you do as a customer can make a difference. And so, when you go to a restaurant or something, you make the first move. You offer the people who serve you a warm and cheerful greeting. If they give their name, offer your name in return. You can engage your customer service provider. Strike up a 30-second conversation with someone who provides you service. Try asking them how their day is going or asking them for a recommendation. Make their day. Pay someone a compliment for the service they are providing. Thank them sincerely for assisting you and tell them specifically how it made a difference. Take ownership. Accept responsibility the next time you make a mistake as a customer and ask for assistance in fixing it. Avoid exaggerating or changing the story to make your situation sound beyond your control. Think it out before complaining. The next time your service does not meet expectations, think about the result you'd like to accomplish before acting.
Okay. You probably said enough.
And give feedback. Fill out a survey or comment card sometime within the next week. Provide honest and direct feedback. Better yet, write an unsolicited email or a letter to the manager praising good service.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So.
We went to 1836 last night for the first time since under new ownership. And our server's name was Gilbert. And I guarantee you, he will remember us.
It's hard not to remember Rick. Who's that jolly feller? Well, that's good stuff. Kate, you brought up such a good point. Do we have maybe 2 more minutes?
Sure.
Is that okay? A couple more minutes? I know we got to get rolling, all of us. But you bring up such a great point. And I thought about this when you were reading this. As I was listening and taking in what you're saying, we have the chance as customers to change a whole situation. And maybe that person is having a horrible day, and you're just that next person that is adding to it. And you can, like you said, you can help change somebody's attitude. And that's a perfect example of this. I was at Subway the other day, and there's a young lady in there, and the poor thing always just looks frustrated and upset. And she comes across is very grouchy. I'm just being honest. And it wasn't one here. It was one that was down the road off 45. And I've been in there a couple of times, and both times I've been in there. And I said, and my attitude used to be like, man, turn that around and be happy. But we don't know what she's going through. And so I engaged with her, and I said, how's your day going? She said, it's just another day. And instead of, normally you just say, okay, well, try to have a great day. I said, it is another day. I said, I'm so thankful that I get to be here today and see you. And all of a sudden it felt weird for me to say that because I didn't want to be like, I'm not hitting on you. I got a wife. But I really meant it. I said, well, it's so great to see you today. And I said, I told her, I said, I know things. I said, I'm not trying to get into your business, but I said, I know that things seem probably tough for you right now. And that poor thing broke down, had a tear, and she goes, yeah, they were really tough. And she goes, thank you for just saying hi and being nice. And her whole attitude changed. And I could have fed off of her attitude, and I could have been bad, and then the whole thing would have just been even worse, right?
Right.
But that may have changed her for the rest of the day to where now she's not sour about other things, and maybe she will be nicer to other customers. We have the opportunity as a customer to make somebody else be happy.
Yeah.
And it's important.
Your smile can make the difference. I mean, remember when we went to Red Lobster in Houston?
Yeah.
And wasn't our waitress, a waitress across the restaurant came over and said, did you used to come to the Junction? And we were like, yeah. And she had waited on us at the Junction and remembered us, and that had been
people remember
years ago.
They're like, that's that guy that used to throw forks at me. He was always so angry.
Yeah.
But now he's happy because he met this beautiful woman, Kaye, and he's just changed his whole life. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, turn it around.
Yep.
And instead of you waiting on someone else to change, why don't you be the change that they need? I think that's so important. So very, 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 very briefly, Tom Hanks turning 69 years old today. Still searching for Wilson, by the way.
Is he?
69. Fred Savage is 40. What was he from, Fred Savage? There's a TV.
He's a kid actor.
Wasn't it the Wonder Years or whatever?
He also was in Princess Bride. He was the young.
I don't have any idea what that is.
What?
I didn't watch that one, Rick.
You're kidding.
That is like one of the best movies.
He's the voice of Coco Melon. No, I'm just kidding. I would know that.
I would know that.
I would know that, yeah. Also, Cow Appreciation Day is today. I wanted to remind you, it means wear your spots and head over to Chick-fil-A. They didn't pay me to say that, by the way. They should. Or just moo convincingly. So can you? Yeah, I wanted to give Rick a chance to moo.
I had a 5-year-old cousin once. He was out at the farm, and he come running in the front door, and he goes, Mom, that cow told me to move, so I moved.
We used to always go, hey, when we'd see hey, and what do you want? Hey, and then you'd point at the hay on the side of the road. So there's a lot of other stuff, but we won't get into it. I did want to mention Dr. Phil returns for another new season. He's been on forever.
Yeah.
Minus 25 staffers, by the way. 25 people down, Dr. Phil. I did want to mention this. This is important, Kay. I do have to mention one quick story. Did you? I read about this yesterday, and I compiled it earlier today. This is going to be the shortest day ever recorded today, July the 9th. Did you hear about this? Expect the Earth to spin about 1 to 3 to 1.6 milliseconds faster than usual. How do they know this? And this even popped up on an email that I got this morning.
I'm surprised you haven't.
I haven't heard that.
Scientists from the International Earth Rotation and Reference System Service, the IERRSS, ERS, say it's part of a curious trend. Shortest days also ahead, coming up on July the 22nd and August 5th, possibly triggered by Earth's internal shifts or the moon's alignment. Yeah. So if you feel rushed today, just know that we are spinning 1.3 to 1.6 milliseconds faster today.
How long is a millisecond?
It's faster than that.
Yeah, it's a thousandth of a second.
Speaking of which, I'm rushed to get off.
No wonder I felt like I was on a roller coaster.
That's it. You're on the roller coaster today. Well, friends, that'll wrap it up. Really great to have CJ and Tiwonna on. I think that's incredible what they're doing here, and so we'll share more information, and we'll also continue to share information about the great work at Tomorrow's Promise. A lot of events coming up. Lasso Your Imagination will be here before you know it. I know that y'all have been working very, very hard on that, and I won't name the sponsors, but many people are coming on and buying tables. Still quite a few tables remaining, though, Kay, right? I say quite a few, but you need to get your tables now and make sure you've got a spot for that coming up. So make sure that
I'll
you do
be
it.
there.
Rick will be there. Kind of hidden in the corner, though, so you're all welcome to come. He'll be kind of off to the side.
I wander all around.
What are you dressing up as this year?
I don't know. What am I dressing up as?
Do you have that really cool, like, that black, really
I have
nice?
the black shirt. And
the
6 shooters.
Okay. Do you have Spurs?
No.
You need to get Spurs this year, Rick. Spurs.
I've never ridden a horse with spurs.
This is the year to do it, buddy. Please check them out online. Don't check Rick out online for Spurs, but
do that.
Visit Tomorrow's Promise online, tomorrowspromise.info. As I said earlier, my children go there. I was joking earlier, but it's true. Caden's vocabulary is through the roof, and I give all that credit to what you guys are doing there. Wonderful teachers all across, not just the academy, but all 3 locations. And I highly encourage you, if you're looking for a place for your children to not just go to a place and sit down or play little games, they're going to go to a place where they're going to learn.
Well, you've actually been at all 3.
I have, yeah.
I mean, before you left town, you were at Children's House.
Mm-hmm.
And then before Caden was born, you were at the main location. And then when Academy opened, I guess that was more convenient.
Both of the kids are at Academy.
Yeah, but that kind of more convenient for
We've been to all of them, and all of them have been great. And I do want to say this. The reason we've been to all 3 of them is because the owner, the director of Tomorrow's Promise, Kaye Boehning, we were a secret shopper for her. Oh, wait, there she is. No, that was not the case.
You're a mess.
So if any of the directors they're watching, I'm not a secret shopper. Don't worry. All right, well, that'll wrap it up. Hey, by the way, come by and see me. I've got a referral card for you. If you'd like to get your children enrolled, I can save you a little bit of money on the enrollment. And so it's not much to begin with, but I can save you. Every little bit helps. And come by and see me here at the church at FBC, or just reach out to me on social media. I'll get you plugged in and get you to where you need to go. Well, that'll wrap it up. Great show today. We'll be back tomorrow with Jason Bay, First Baptist. Jason's been on vacation, so he will be back with us tomorrow. And we'll also be joined by Melanie Strickland. She will be joining us tomorrow, and excited to have her on. What is she going to talk about? Well, you're going to have to find out. You're going to have to watch tomorrow to learn. Reminder, come by the church here, First Baptist. We'll be here till 6 o'clock today, tomorrow, with your donations to help out those in need. We'll post the new updated list a little bit later today. As I end every show, reminding you this morning, we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. So please, provide a word of encouragement, lend a hand of support. I promise somebody out there needs you. Until then, Huntsville, good morning, and so long. Have a wonderful and blessed day. See you, Rick and Kay.
Adios.